giants Antwerp face star-studded Hapoel Yahav Jerusalem inside the Lotto Arena in Belgium. Chris Edgerton with you for this one, as Antwerp tried to halt the unbeaten juggernaut that is Hapoel at the top of the standings. And a bit of history being made, a lot of exciting things happening in Belgian basketball right now. This the first home game in the Basketball Champions League for Antwerp after 2 games on the road. 1 win, 1 loss so far, but surely their biggest test coming over the next hour and 45 minutes or so. These are your standings right now. Jerusalem on top, along with Fenerbahce, the 2 unbeaten teams in the group. Bamberg and AK locked at each other right now as well. Opportunities for Antwerp if they can take them during the course of the night. Elsewhere, incidentally, Lietkabelis of Lithuania beat Nymburk of the Czech Republic. They're still going in the battle of the stragglers. There are your game day 3 listings. Later on, Dijon taking on Fuenlabrada to wrap things up. AK, last we heard, holding off Bamberg in that terrific matchup taking place in Thessalonica. Confirmation, by the way, that Lietkabelis have beaten Nymburk 97-86 in that earlier game. So let's take a look at the 2 teams, shall we? And so much talent, particularly on the Jerusalem side. As we take another look at the standings with Antwerp yet to get really properly underway in this competition. But when you look at this talent in the Hapoel Jerusalem lineup, well, it's rather scary. Not just that man there. Amari Stoudemire still going at 35 years of age. But a host of presence, both inside and outside. And overall, the most efficient setup around for that man there to deal with, the coach of Antwerp, Roa Moors.
First of all, let's welcome our guests here tonight.
So let's go through the lineup, shall we?
For our guests are playing tonight with number 0,
Joe Hapoel, born in South Sudan, then moved to Melbourne. Signed in the summer, had limited opportunities so far this year.
Number 6,
Chris Johnson, Tamir Blatt, so efficient at the moment in the backcourt. He and Johnson following Stoudemire. Baltimore, a feature of the Israel national team, of course, over a good few years there. Eliyahu in really good form too. Veldin, Chubovic could be a real presence inside. And Deshaun Butler as well. Certainly not a character to trifle with if Antwerp are looking to get on top here. And of course, the legendary coach that is Erdek Katash, who's plotted so many successful campaigns down the years. Well, these are these men in gold and black who have to do the job for the Giants. Look out for the likes of their mainstays. Dave Kaczynski, 18+ points in each game so far. Harris Lee, man out of Illinois State, good defensive player. Dennis Donker, on stats at least, the best 3-point shooter in the Basketball Champions League this year. Deshaun Tate, former Ohio State player. And a real talent there, Franz Bleichenberg, very much part of the junior national team program for Belgium. Victor Sanders. Again, real three-point threat. Antwerp just about the best outside shooters in the league this year. Admittedly, after only 2 games gone. There's Bacco. He's got to give them inside threat to balance out the outside shooting potential they undoubtedly have. And there is Rommels, the head coach. This is going to be some journey inside the Lotto Arena. Holds around 5,500 or so. Not that many in tonight, but there'll be a real atmosphere inside. And there is so much to play for in this Basketball Champions League. Antwerp 1-1 for the year. And were they to win tonight, if the officials this evening from Spain, Montenegro and Sweden allow that, of course, and now maintain pressure on the top teams in this Group C. Who knows, maybe they can sneak a way out of the group and get into the knockout stages. Very fascinating clash of styles. Real inside threat from Hapoel, but they've got threats all over the court, you would think.
We also want to welcome the referees for tonight's game.
Tamir Black, Jacobin Brown, real presence inside as well. And I mentioned the Antwerp lineup, and a lot of good things happening in Belgian basketball right now. There's a very youthful feel to their roster, with at least 2 to 3 players having gone through the Belgian national team setup at junior level. And there's your starting 5 for Hapoel. I mentioned Josh Owens so far, fine rebounder, and shown that in both games so far, beating AEK, the defending champions, and Lieke Cabellis as well. And Tash, of course, at the helm of everything. One more huddle for these Giants of Antwerp. Will they play like Giants this evening? Incidentally, talking of AEK, they lead by 12 with 4 minutes and 50 to play over Bamberg in that crucial game, as we see the starting lineup. Dudzinski and Kalinowski, real keys. Van Wyn, a feature of the Belgian national team for many years, alongside the 2 other Americans, Lee and Tate, in that starting 5. They're in good form at the weekend, but they lost out to another Basketball Champions League team in Ostend. They've gone 1-1 domestically so far, just as they are in Europe.
Also welcome to the fans from Jerusalem.
Ostend, the team that put them out of the playoffs in the Euro Millions League as well. We shall see Mr. Stoudemire in due course, I'm sure.
With 22, Josh Owens.
And it does help if you're the co-owner that if you want to get a game,
Number 17.
you can just tap the shoulder of the coach. Not that it works like that.
Number 4, Chris Johnson.
No small-time operation, this Hapoel Jerusalem team. Israeli champions 3 years out of the last 5. Plenty of money to spend on their roster as well. Can they deliver? With so many rivals in Israel looking to knock them down.
And now starting 5 for your Telenet Giant Center.
So here we go then.
Number 23.
You won't miss those players in a dark alley, I would imagine,
Number 5, Paris Lee.
shirts like that.
Number 10, Hansel Vauban. Number 8, Sean Tate. And number 24, Tyler Kalinowski.
So will the inside presence of Hapoel overcome the undoubted outside shooting of Antwerp? set to go. And this terrific setting of the Lotto Arena. And it's Dudzinski against Owens, and it's Owens who wins out. And we're underway in Antwerp with Butler inside looking for Blatt. And an early foul called. Looks as if it's Hans Van Wint, who was working out with the Oklahoma City Thunder in the summer. Not really with a serious move, but you do get the impression that he may well end up abroad at some stage in the near future. Still time on his side as well, 23 years of age. As Johnson gets our first point of the game. And who knows what it's like to be in the NBA, of course. 147 NBA games over 4 seasons. This is second campaign in Europe. And from Orlando, Florida. 2 from 2 to start us off. And barely a flicker on the coach. Paris Lee, all looking for Dudzinski. A rather wild pass to start things off. Real hallmark of the Hapoel Jerusalem play so far. Very few turnovers indeed. Very efficient basketball. Butler to the corner where Johnson's waiting, and he can't miss right now. We're averaging just 9 turnovers a game at the moment, Hapoel Jerusalem. Very few in comparison to most teams. There's Lee. Finds Tate on the arc towards Dudzinski, but not going to be a lot of joy for Van Wint. Right idea. Perhaps Owens just obscuring the pass to some degree. Butler then for Jerusalem. Tate watching on as Blatt takes it up. The alley-oop, and that's beautifully put away by Owens. And Hapoel Jerusalem starting as they mean to go on. All alone, Paris Lee. Oh, but it can't be held by Deshaun Tate. And a frustrating start for the Giants. We've got feet of clay right now. Feet of the gods for Josh Owens. Butler. Feldine. Back it goes to the outside arc. And at last, a chink of light for the Giants. Tate loses it in contact with Tamir Blatt, and it looks like the Israeli national team starlet is going to be called for a foul. Pretty straightforward decision for the officials. Deshaun Tate, in his first professional year. Plenty of energy, and always been that way as a kid growing up in Toledo, Ohio. Spent the summer with the Milwaukee Bucks as well, so plenty of talent there. 1 from 2 so far. With the stern face of Coach Moore's looking on. Black finds Johnson in the corner. And away comes Kalinowski. Tate holds on to it this time. Simple layup in the end. That might settle a few nerves. Offensive foul call as well. Tate's very happy with that. And look out for these fast breaks. It is a youthful team that Antwerp have on the roster. They'll be aggressive, they'll be young, and very quick to get into transition. Kalinowski though. Van Wint, Paris Lee. Tate for 3. Got it. Well, after that sticky start, Antwerp really settling down now. Foul called on Tate this time. As Hapoel Jerusalem go all the way back to Sean Butler. As if butter wouldn't melt. And all sorts of conversation taking place. No respecter of reputations, Antwerp right now. It's been that long ago since Butler was being picked up. And look at that smile as the conversation continues. Lee then. There's that much to shout about for Antwerp offensively. Tate up against Johnson, who nearly got a piece of it. Kalinowski on the rebound. Five seconds on the shot clock. Paris Lee. Deshaun Tate's going to have to take it himself. Oh, there's confidence for you. Well, if you can talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk, and he's done just that. Not a bad response, was it? It's heating up between Feldin and Tate, that is for sure. Bang shot for three. Jerusalem up by three. Fascinating start, this. And Paris Lee has the freedom of the lane. Oh, $1 million move, but the 5-cent finish. That is how you do it, my friends. Tamir Black absolutely drained the three. Certainly Jerusalem have come to show Antwerp it's not just them that can play on the outside. Lee, Tate. Steps inside, but that's good defense. Feldin equal to it. Black over the top. Here's Butler. Oh, great bounce pass. And Johnson's fouled. Might be another one on Tate, you know. But you can tell what these Belgian fans make of that. Thought he might be a little bit lively. Foul is called on Kalinowski. Although Katash already looking as if he's about to kill someone with his bare hands. Johnson makes both. 7 points for him now. And suddenly Jerusalem up by 8. Midway through the opener. Kalinowski. Dudskinski battling away inside, but it's with Paris Lee who's drawn the foul from Johnson. Kalinowski then with the inbounds. Van Wyn for three. Well, it's a decent rebound in the end from Kalinowski, and he's tidied up a move that he started. Antwerp 11, Jerusalem 17. Owens trying to screen it for Feldin. Well, he did it that time. Feldin back inside to Owens. It was a little sloppy. How on earth have they got that one back, Jerusalem? Oh, beautiful. Deshaun Butler for three. This is a bit of a masterclass right now as Tate dunks and dunks with authority. No respect to reputations, Antwerp, right now. They're hanging in there. Blatt. Second attempt came from Butler. And after Feldin was a right. And he's got a foul as well. Didn't Tate enjoy that? So it'll be Butler to the line as Dudzinski, who's been in fine scoring form, hasn't had an opportunity so far. Dudzinski with the foul. And a chance to reset as, unsurprisingly, the sideline camera lingering on Amari Stoudemire. As reached Coven Brown for the first time into the game. Drums sound as Butler makes a comfortable first free throw. Stoudemire in for Owens. Brown in for Feldy. So that Jerusalem lineup: Black, Brown, Butler, Johnson, and Stoudemire. 7 points for Butler. And however good Antwerp are, they've got to be good consistently here, because already a 9-point margin for them to overturn. Lee puts it up, and the rebound goes Brown's way. See what I mean? Tamir Black, the fake in the end, gets it back from Brown. He's going to do it himself. Oh, but only just in Antwerp hang on to that rebound. Tate in the end. Lee steps away from Black. Sean Tate. Oh, great put back. What a finish that was from Van Wyn. That looks simple, but I tell you it's not under that sort of pressure from the likes of Butler. And Black driving it towards the basket this time. Looks like Lee is protesting his case. And Antwerp now in team foul trouble. Seems to be a lot of contact from that angle, but it was just enough. And Lee will take a break. And into the game comes Yuri Sherpen. Tate's said and done enough for now. And Lior Eliyahu, another of these veterans, such an experienced lineup at the disposal of Coach Katesh. Chupovic, 32, just newly signed. Feldy, Butler above 30, as is Ahayan. Eliyahu, 33. And of course Stoudemire at 35. Sanders into the game though for Antwerp. And there's another change coming for Jerusalem, with Fabianetti back into the game. He's in for Blacks. 8-point difference between these two teams. Sanders, Kalinowski, Van Wyn. The top to Bacco is into the game too. Kalinowski for three. Well, they need more of that. Shot 4 from 8 from 3-point range against Linkabelis. And straight back to the other end, Amari Stoudemire. You don't need to recognise him to know that Jerusalem have got all the weapons at their disposal, and so quick from Brown to spot the veteran open at the other end of the court. Timeout called Antwerp. They trail by 7.
But not the rebounding. We gotta get the board.
Simple request then from Coach Moores. Get some rebounds. Get some presence inside. It was always going to be the problem for the Giants tonight. 5 rebounds, all told, compared to 6. Not an awful lot of difference there, but to be a little smarter defensively right now as Sanders takes it up for Antwerp. Kajanowski. A little pull back from either Feldin or Brown. We'll see where that one goes. A little drag back from Feldin there, I would suggest. Backo. Calling on it, a bit of movement from his teammates. He's going to have to spin and take on Stoudemire himself. Oh, he's done that superbly. Oh, what a shame that was. Absolutely skinned the veteran. Brown for Jerusalem. Bank shot doesn't work out. Stoudemire with the rebound and one. He's done that so many times in his career. And there, perhaps, the difference between youth and experience. Backo, 23 years of age. He's got a future, no question about that. But Stoudemire knows all the tricks, because he's pulled more than one or two off. Doesn't mean that he's not perfect, though. Sanders, spin move, gets away, feeds Backo, but again he can't lay up. It's all very well having the fancy down moves, but you've got to have the end product. Yahav, he knows all about that. Great pass finds Butler, and to the corner it goes. And then they're off target at the moment. Oh, somehow Antwerp have recovered it. Brilliant stuff. Sanders. All on his own is Van Wyn. Got to take opportunities like that, but I tell you what, Backo's doing okay inside right now. He's battling away as Butler and Stoudemire for company. And somehow he's got the inbounds ball as well. I wonder if we might see Chubovic brought in as well. How good was that, though, from Victor Sanders? Chubovic, by the way, 2 minutes 12, with Backo 2 minutes 8. Sherpen, Sanders, looked useful so far in the backcourt, but they did touch the rim before the shot clock expired. Sanders with his first points of the game. Stoudemire. Oh, over the top, Yahav. Just so simple. And he knows exactly where to go to for the thanks. Foul called. That might put Jerusalem in team foul trouble. Oh, he just knew what was going to come, didn't he? Yahav. 29-21 then in favour of Jerusalem. Coven Brown called for the foul, incidentally, as Tamir Black steps back in for Yahav. Must be so good to have an operator like Yahav available to Coach Kadash. And of course now retired from national team duty as the officials have a word with the bench of Hapoel. Sanders to the line then. What it takes in Europe as well. They got to the quarterfinals of the FIBA Europe Cup, as well as just missing out on qualification for the regular season in the Basketball Champions League last season. Feldin, coughs it up, and there's an unsportsmanlike call on Stoudemire. I told you he knows all the tricks, and he knows exactly what he's doing there. but Sanders unable to convert. Not quite sure what Jacob Brown is protesting for. Quite clearly an unsportsmanlike. And Antwerp will get the ball back, of course, as well. Kadash has seen enough of James Felding. Now then. 6-point margin. Antwerp will be quite happy with this. They can just close this gap a little further. Van Wyn. Sanders. The spin. The pass. Bacco, the finish. That's superb. What about that? Stoudemire had no idea. Last possession of the quarter. Can the Giants hold out here? Jacob Brown trying to set things up, but he's got to be quick. 4 seconds left. He's going to have to do it himself. Oh, he does it himself. You might well celebrate that. He's in pain too after a slightly awkward landing. But that's just beautifully floated up. And we, ladies and gentlemen, have a game. 6 points in it. 31-25 in favour of Hapoel Jerusalem. And inside this Lotto Arena, these fans know their team are in this. But that could be a problem for Hapoel if that's a little more serious. Let's hear from the coaches. Both teams shooting incidentally 50% or above. Antwerp dead on 50%, 9 from 18. Hapoel 9 from 16, 56%.
Antwerp, we need your support.
Both teams shooting 57% from outside. Not much in it in assists, turnovers, and indeed fouls. When you consider that Hapoel led at one stage by 9, it's getting back to 6, and it could have been more. Could have been even more effective a comeback from Antwerp. I think they'd have taken that deficit after the first quarter. And Jacob Brown heading back to the locker room. So short-handed roster for now for Hapoel. It's not as if they don't have talent elsewhere with the likes of Blatt and Felding and one or two others as well. Second quarter then underway. Sanders thought about going all himself. It's all the way back to Dennis Donker, who's into the game. Into the game for the first time, but not successfully. Blatt. Spin move from Butler. And Bacco having a real presence inside. Certainly even things up ever so slightly inside. Sherpen towards Van Wyn. Spin move. Oh, that was nice, but couldn't supply the finish. Johnson beating all ends up to start with. Tamir Blatt for 3. Doesn't execute the landing or indeed the tray. Van Wyn, Sanders. Sherpen. Bacco at the top of the key. Sanders inside to Van Wyn. Johnson for company. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, who worries about the shot clock when Dennis Donker can shoot like that? 3-point game, and Butler at the heart of good things for Hapoel Jerusalem again. tipped, and away come Antwerp. Not quite so effective offensively. Hapoel right now. Great work from Veldin, and Johnson will finish it off. How about the hustle to keep that in bounds? Brilliant stuff, and Johnson could not finish, if you see what I mean. Johnson 7 then, Butler 7. Quite happy to shoot threes as long as they can, Antwerp. Butler's going to get the foul, and he's smiling about that, but in a rather ironic way. Plenty of changes, though, now for Antwerp. Sanders has made a good impression. Dudzinski back in. Bacco stepping out, which I'm slightly disappointed at. Dudzinski. Lee. 4 changes all told. Here's Tate back in the game, and that's nice. And Dudzinski is off and running. Three-point game once more. Surely Hapoel Jerusalem have got another gear inside them. The 3 attempt from Veldin off the rim. And they're winning the battle of the glass right now, Antwerp. Tate, ooh, just about holds on to it. Going to put it up for 3. Now that's how to recover, and we are tied. Jashawn Tate and Dudzinski with the fabulous celebrations. And talk about ridiculous and sublime. How about that for a 3? Timeout called, Hapoel. Well, we're barely in the second quarter. And Coach Katash all calm, but look at those smiles in the coaching team for Antwerp. They know they've got a shot here if they can keep this going. Never one of the most happy-go-lucky characters on the sideline, Ode Kitash. I do suspect he's slightly concerned at this point. Here's Blatt. That comes off Yahav. Indeed, the hand of Sherpen. Still Jerusalem ball. Jerusalem with Blatt, Butler, Yahav, Owens, and Timor on the court. And there's Owens. Such a powerhouse in that respect. He's a rebounder par excellence as well. And what about the dunk? Jerusalem back in front now. And there's a foul being called on Jerusalem as well. I think it's been called on Baltimore. Deemed, I presume, unsportsmanlike. Technical foul now, called on Kitash. Well, they were warned if it was called on Kitash. One of his assistants was rather voluble in the first quarter, so I can't say that that's been a surprise. 1 point in it. Is this closer than what you thought it would be? Lee. Sherpen with a spin. Finds Dudzinski. Giants back in front. Good defense from Lee, real feature of his college career. Blatt in the face, and Blatt almost puts the ball into one of the bench's faces too. not going as it seems. Home crowd starting to get into this as well. Now then, can they exploit these opportunities, Antwerp? Dudzinski. Donker. Scherpen from the line. Got to make sure he gets points from there. Tamir Black. Yahav gets away Black from Donker, but that's well read by Jashawn Tate. He's got away from Tamir Black too. Was looking for the foul. Certainly the home crowd were, as Lee puts it up. That's nice. Pretty good option when you're 183 to come up against 2'3" Yahav. Butler. Black. Looking for some inspiration right now, Hapoel Jerusalem. They won't get it from Timor's three-point shooting there. Now then. This would be interesting if this possession produces points. Jet Lee. Antwerp can't get the rebound. Blatt. Timor. Yahav driving it up from the low post. Oh! Little flick of the wrist was just sublime there. So much confidence and ability, and why not when you've had a career like him? And he's still to come too. Donker for Antwerp. Towards Dudzinski. Candy from a baby. 5 minutes to play in the half. Oh, and it's another turnover. Well, the kings of efficiency, Hapoel Jerusalem, just starting to look a little concerned here now. They've had 18 turnovers prior to tonight's game, and they've already notched up 5. As Black steps out into the game, comes Johnson. Parisley gets a screen from Dudzinski. Donker. Got to be watched carefully. Oh, as there's contact between Dudzinski and Timor. The officials don't see there's anything wrong there. Really is a wrestling match in the paint there, but they did see a foul called on Owens, was it? Certainly Coach Katash is looking for a reconsideration. And Parisley will go to the line for 2. Parisley with more minutes per game so far than any of the Antwerp Giants players. 8 points, and averaging around about 4 assists as well. 4 points to his name so far. 5-point lead here for Antwerp. If you ask Coach Moores whether he'd like to take them into the locker room right now, he would bite your hand off. Foul out. Yahav going to drive it up, is he? No. Foul called on Yuri Scherpen. He has a bit of a reputation in Giant circles for delivering just when it matters. Can't just be him. As Valdine shoots for 3 and nails it. I've just settled a few worries for the team in red. 2-point game. Parisley kicks it back out. Jashawn Tate can't get the basket, but he will draw the foul in spite of Yahav's protestations. Drives it up. And Owens is called for his second foul in quick succession. Stoudemire back in. Interesting to see if Antwerp get Bacco back into the game soon. He was having quite a contest, the youngster. against the hugely experienced NBA veteran. Coming back, of course, after what we thought he'd retired already. Decided to come back in. Only playing around 15 minutes per game, incidentally, Stoudemire, in the Basketball Champions League so far. Shooting 60% inside. Coach Moores will like that from Tate, though. 2 from 2. Jerusalem down by 5. Here is Stoudemire. Felding. Straight past Tate. Great layup. What about the focus from Paris Lee there? Etched right across his face. Donker. Dudzinski waiting for it, but it's blocked by Eliyahu, and away comes Jerusalem. Back out it goes to Timur. He's got to put it up and drains the triple. Timeout as well. And there's the recognition that Jerusalem might just have got themselves out of a little hole there. Wonderful step from Felding there, and then Timur burying the tray. We're all tied at 44. Timeout Antwerp.
Because every mistake we make, it's not a mistake, but every bad shot or bad offense, it hurts. It hurts, okay? Let's go, horns up again. Okay, horns up, get some movement. I want hands of the first stagger. You're gonna come on the second stagger. On the second stagger, immediately to attack. Opposite of hands, okay?
Well, it's been a terrific effort so far from Antwerp, but it will count for nothing if Hapoel are allowed to run away with it towards the half, let alone in the second half to come. It's not going to be a game to go too far away from. I can tell you, though, they are underway in the other Group C game, the last remaining Group C game, Dijon against Fuenlabrada. Here's Kalinowski. Oh, never looked like missing. Told you he was a talent in outside shooting. 8 points to him now. He's in for Schupin. Van Wyn in for Donker on the Antwerp side. Timur plays in Eliyahu. Wonderful step, but rather wasteful layup in the end. Van Wyn. Back out it goes from Antwerp all the way to Dudzinski. Nothing is impossible, it says, for all the boards. Can Antwerp do something close? From the corner it flies, and it flies straight home. Chris Johnson, magnificent triple. Tied at 47. 2 minutes to play in this increasingly intriguing half, but that's sloppy from Tate. And here's Johnson once more. Jerusalem back in front. There are the dangers, just being a little casual. Lee. Finer gets some help from Dudzinski. It's with Tate. Steps inside, but bad pass. Dudzinski won't get near that. Possibly distracted by Eliyahu just diving in at the last moment as Sanders comes into the game. Paris Lee has seen enough. That might be him done for the half. Jerusalem up by 2. Felding just rolls out. It's Van Wyn with the rebound. Well, they're determined to take their time here, the Giants. Sanders finally finds Van Wyn. Van Wyn with the air ball. Shot clock violation 2. Even though they've had their troubles as Bacco comes into the game at the expense of Tate for Antwerp, I sense Hapoel Jerusalem not entirely displeased with how this game has gone on, and more importantly, if it gets tight down the stretch, they'll feel their greater experience will pay dividends in the end. Hapoel Jerusalem timeout with less than a minute to play in the half. Hapoel Jerusalem fans in some numbers at least inside the Lotto Arena. Certainly a terrific place to watch your basketball. And here comes Batimore. Butler gets the N1 and the layup. If you switch off for 1 second, what a no-look pass. That's the sort of damage you can do if you lose your concentration. Folding in for Yahav, by the way, as Dudzinski is out for now. Butler can't claim the extra, but Johnson very nearly got the rebound. Tied it up by Bacco for Antwerp. 8-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Sanders, Bacco. What a bank shot that is! Fade away, quite superb from Sanders. Back to within 2. Should be the last possession. Batimore. 5 seconds. Oh, just pulled back by Ismail Bacco. That's not the worst foul in the world you've ever seen. Smart play from the 23-year-old. And there, Sanders. Well, the sort of quality that Antwerp are going to need in that second half. Might not be in front of the half, but they'll take it. What can Jerusalem do here in just over 4 seconds? Kalinowski gives away another foul. And now it's 2.7 seconds left on the clock. Yahav with the inbounds. Timor was free for a moment. Oh, couldn't get the pass away. And remember, with Jacobin Brown in the locker room, we want to see Chris Johnson take a tumble too. Oh. Wasn't the most elegant fall to earth, was it? Joe Queel into the game. As Butler has done his bit. Now then, 2.7 seconds. What do you think? Put up by Sanders. Oh, not far away. Shows what you can do, doesn't it? And that is a terrific half of basketball. Very competitive between Antwerp on their home debut in the Basketball Champions League against all of the might and the money of Hapoel Jerusalem, down by just 2. And they might wonder whether they could be in front as well. And Raoul Moores and his coaching staff will be very, very happy, I would think, on that first half. 53 against 63 inside shooting. Hapoel just nudging it on 3-point plays, but Antwerp getting more opportunities. And not much between the two teams in terms of free throw shooting. And given that Antwerp are making 44% tonight compared to 48% so far in the Basketball Champions League, they might feel that they've got a little bit of progress to come. There's certainly no hint of frustration on those three faces as they get the box scores from the scorers table. And in the meantime, we shall watch some of the more intriguing moments of a very entertaining first half. And when you compare the two teams, rebounding, very little between the two, although Antwerp getting more offensive rebounds. 17 for Antwerp, 18 overall for Jerusalem. 6 offensive rebounds for Antwerp, 3 for Jerusalem. Certainly not much in any of the main categories either between these two. More steals. Both teams playing pretty efficient basketball. 7 turnovers each, 13 Antwerp assists, 11 to their visitors. There is still basketball to enjoy, by the way, in the Basketball Champions League as we take, we're about to take a half-time break. I should say that there is one Group C game taking place as we speak, and that is in France, where Dijon are taking on the other unbeaten team alongside Hapoel. That's Fuenlabrada. And completed one quarter there, Fuenlabrada 26-21 up. 2 games, 3 games in fact, taking place as we speak in Group D as well. So much to occupy you while we are away having a breather, and we need it after one of the more exhilarating first half in the Basketball Champions League so far this year. Deshaun Tate with so much to say and so much to deliver as well. It has certainly been fun. Dzezinski having a fine second quarter as well, incidentally. The shooting mainstay of this Antwerp team. Dzezinski had put on a point in the first quarter. Had 6 for his trouble in the quarter. Word though for Tyler Kalinowski, his fellow American. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Along with Deshaun Tate, 16 points and 3 rebounds for him. As for Jerusalem, Johnson, 14 points, 2 rebounds. Sean Butler, 9 points to his name. James Fielding, 7 points, 4 assists, along with a couple of rebounds as well. So do rejoin us in around 10 minutes' time, where we'll enjoy together the second half of what could be a very interesting contest. It's Antwerp 49, Jerusalem 51. We'll be glad to have you company for the start of the second half. Couldn't be much tighter inside the Lotto Arena, with Antwerp and Jerusalem separated by just 2 points as we start the second half, or we will at least in a few moments. Chris Edgerton with you for this one, and it's been very intriguing indeed, with Jerusalem breaking out a bit of a strong advantage. They led at one stage by 9, but they've been pulled back by this young and very energetic Antwerp lineup, personified by Jashawn Tate. There's been full of trash talk, full of skills as well, full of talent. And he's leading all scorers right now with 16 points. Chris Johnson responding on the Jerusalem side with 14. So don't think for a moment that Antwerp aren't out of this, but will the experience that Hapoel have in spades ultimately lead them to victory here? There's Coach Katash and his Hapoel players.
Once again, he danced.
Coach Walls will certainly believe that they can pull this one out of the fire.
Champions League game. Antwerp 49, Jerusalem 51.
Well, Coach Moore's wisdom being taken to the very, very final second and beyond for his players. What an opportunity this would be if they could knock off not just one of the favourites to win a very competitive Group C, but also to win the whole Basketball Champions League. Antwerp 49, Jerusalem 51. We are underway in the second half. And the alley-oop from Owens starts us off in fine, fine style. Don't you just love watching Josh Owens in that sort of distance? Kalinowski though for Antwerp, kicks it back out. Here's Dudzinski for 3. Shelling peas time for Dave Dudzinski, the boy from Elburn, Illinois. Tammy Black gets away from Lee. Here's Feldy. Raining threes once again. So good, some terrific outside shooting in the first period. Tate skins it back outside, where Van Wyn takes it, and he'll tee up Kalinowski. He's into double figures now, shooting 4 from 4. First from inside. Feldy off the rim, and Van Wyn with the rebound. Kalinowski with this pace on the fast break, but picks up the rebound after his initial triple. What about Paris Lee? Another rebound goes Antwerp's way. Here's Jashawn Tate with the layup. Oh, that's sloppy. Still 2 points in it. How tight and how long can Antwerp keep it this way? Tamir Black for 3. He wants to get this wrapped up nice and early. Jerusalem up by 5. Black having a relatively quiet night, but 50% from 3-point range. Van Wyn Tees up Dudzinski off the rim. Black with the rebound. Black once more. Watched closely. Double team 2. And that leaves space for Deshaun Butler. Wonder if Tate could have been a little bit tighter there. And what about this? 2.5 minutes into the quarter, and already Jerusalem break out into an 8-point advantage. Paris Lee. Oh, bounce pass. Finds Dudzinski. And right up the other end, Johnson just doing enough to keep Antwerp out. It's a really competitive game, this. Johnson finds Feldin. Inside, looking for Owens, but Kalinowski will pick up the foul on that occasion. Yeah, a little pull of the shirt. Victor Sanders comes in. Kalinowski, slightly surprising. Johnson for 2 more. Got to find a way of cutting Hapoel up. Source and score points at the other end. Van Wyn for the dunk. Paris Lee. So much space for the guard to enjoy. Feldin kicks it back out. Tamir Black off the rim. Who's going to get the rebound? It's Jerusalem. So much space. Oh, that was very poor from Feldin, and somehow Jerusalem have got it back. Tamir Black. They're going to punish them for 3, are they? Johnson off the rim. Not quite. And somehow Antwerp have got it away, but there's great hustle from Johnson. Very average from Van Wyn. And he's got away with it. He's got to calm things down a little bit. Coach Moores is furious on the sidelines. And Sanders being rather optimistic there, but he will draw the foul from either Butler or Owens. Johnson steps out and Yahav comes in. Just so important Antwerp don't lose their bearings here. They've been doing great things in this game. They're only down by 6 as Paris Lee drives it up the lane. Good layup off the glass. Just had the angle on Owens every time. Yahav for Jerusalem. Black. Feldin back to Tamir Black. Oh, blocked, but Feldin recovers superbly. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Rebound goes Dudzinski's way. There's Sanders battling for it. Floats it up and it drops and 1. Victor Sanders with the sort of play that can energize any team. Look at the determination against the taller opponent and the body control to put it up. And he's quietly thrilled with that, but it won't mean much if he can't get this. Oh, it's a waste. 2-point game. 5:10 to play in the third. They're not going away, the Giants, just yet. Yahav. Tamir Black with room and time off the rim. And Paris Lee gets the rebound for Antwerp. Is he going to go himself? No, he's got the sense to kick it back out to Sanders. And they'll reset once more. Sanders going to drive it in. Well, it's up against Yahav. It's well worth a try, and he's got it. We're back tied at 64. Good work from the backcourt there, wasn't it? Butler. Feldin. Going to drive it up himself down the lane, but there's contact. And Sanders will pick another foul. Felding shooting 4 from 11 at the moment. 10 points to his name. But this was nice from Sanders, wasn't it? Got the pace to get past the big. You might as well go for it. There's Owens makes his way rather gingerly back to the bench. Don't need another injury, Jerusalem. They're already without Jacob Brown. And it's getting serious now for Coach Katash. The jacket is off. Two from Felding. Paris Lee. He's going to get space himself. Simple layup. Thought Dudzinski might have been the better option there. What about the step for the finish? Back tied at 66. Butler for 3. Off the glass, don't think he'd even got a piece of the rim. Oh, maybe there's an opportunity for Dudzinski, but Butler has just got the awareness to cut it out. Wonder what parts of play Dave Dudzinski has still got. 18 plus in both games so far. He's been shooting 50% from three-point range as well before tonight. 5 from 7 so far. And here he is once more. Paris Lee. He's got Stoudemire in front, goes from way back, rolls out. Felding looking for Stoudemire. And he's drawn the foul from Lee. Again, just that lack of concentration at the key moments. Is that going to be the difference? And Bacco, who made a difference when he came on in the second quarter, up against the great Stoudemire. He's going to match up, you would think, once more. Felding. The gap closes. Who's the foul called on? You would think it'd be Van Wyn. And indeed it is. Van Wyn's second foul. Paris Lee on 3, incidentally, as is Kalinowski. 2 each for Dudzinski and Schuppen. That's the Antwerp lineup. No such issues for Jerusalem right now. Sean Butler on 2, Josh Owens on 2. Felding makes both. And at the other end, here's Sanders. Watched eagerly by Timor. He's just about got round him, but giving it away. Felding. Timor. Thought about Eliyahu, and eventually it's the option. Oh, but it's cut out well by Van Wyn. The atmosphere just building inside this Lotto Arena right now. 3 minutes and 6. It's got so much potential, this game, as Dennis Donker comes in for Paris Lee. Real outside shooting threat in his second spell at the club, so knows this Giants organisation very closely indeed. Here's Stoudemire, puts it in for the back. Put back, but draws the foul from Tate, I think it was, rather than Bacco. Stoudemire will go to the line, and that might make a difference towards the back end of this third quarter. Antwerp now in team foul trouble. Jerusalem with a good few fouls to give, and indeed the foul is called on Tate. Tate on 2 fouls. They've got to watch that, Antwerp, if they're to stay on to Hapoel's coattails. Israelis lead by 4. Tate, who's been so good tonight for Antwerp in his debut pro season. Sanders at the top of the key. Oh, brilliant! Just what Antwerp needed. Enough to make you lose your voice in this game right now. Timor, Yahav in space. He's completely open, off the rim. And the quick fast break, Donker tees up, Bakker with it dropped, no, not quite, but the foul is called on Yahav, whose complacency created the fast break opportunity for Antwerp anyway. And another foul lodged on the copybook for Jerusalem. Bakker to the line, can put Antwerp in front. First time in this third quarter. He knows they've got a chance here, Coach Moores. As you can see from the big number 4 that's around this arena. Great player in Giants Antwerp history. Antwerp with a 1-point lead. Stoudemire drives it down the lane, kicks it back out. Veldin does it too. Timor for 3, brilliant! Just the sort of efficient team play we're used to seeing from Hapoel Jerusalem in the Basketball Champions League this season. Another lead change. Sanders, Tate. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tate's going to take on Stoudemire himself. Tried to dunk it and then thought better of it. Sanders off the glass, but there's contact in the paint. Tate going to ground. And as we watch Timor's triple point play, we wonder quite what the call is. They won't go to the line, at least anyway, as Johnson returns. Bakker. Sanders. Here's Tate from the top of the key, off the rim. And tapped in by Van Wen. We're back tied at 73. Nip and tuck all the way through this. Don't go anywhere. Johnson incidentally called for the foul earlier. Stoudemire. Here's layup. Doesn't work out. And here's Van Wen for Antwerp. Go back in front here. Deshaun Tate, spinning, bobbing, weaving. An offensive foul call. Was there an extra step? Stoudemire was determined one way or another to get the block, and it was an extra step, as you saw, for Deshaun Tate. Inside the final minute of the third. Neither team will want to let the other get away in these remaining seconds. Tamir Black. It's rebounded eventually by Johnson. So strong there, but can't find the layup. They will take their time here, surely, Antwerp. 12-second differential, so there's plenty of time still. Sanders looking for Bakker, spins its way out to Van Wen, who draws the foul from Stoudemire. You don't need posh glasses to see that this is turning into quite a contest. Now just the 3-second differential on the clocks. Sanders, well, he's got the opportunity. He does nail the 3, but it won't count because there was contact between Bakker and Stoudemire, whose face tells 1,000 stories. Could be Timor, in fact. Well, I think he is going to get the other call. Indeed so. That's his first, by the way. Substitution being made. So Bacco has to wait. 8 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This to put Antwerp back in front. It's looked good on the charity stripe so far. Feldine incidentally in for Owens. Oh, doesn't quite make it. Stoudemire with the rebound. Last opportunities. Chris Johnson driving up the layup, and Bacco's been so strong there. Denies Johnson, who is secretly pretty annoyed indeed. And who knows, they might get more. No, they won't from there. Sanders unable to convert. So what do we have in store in this final act? Look at that. Antwerp 74. With 6 rebounds and 3 assists to his treble too. Paris Lee being very effective with 8 points and 7 assists, but he's on 3 fouls in addition. Those will be the 5 that you think could bring this home for Antwerp. Sanders, Tate, Dudzinski, Kalinowski and Lee. As for Hapoel Jerusalem, Johnson 16 points, Feldine 14, 2 rebounds and 6 assists. Sean Butler 12 points. But they're going to need more from the likes of Blatt. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Stoudemire 6 points, 3 rebounds and 6 points for Baltimore. Shobovic yet to get in the game, as is Hyan. And of course no Jacoban Brown, who hasn't been seen since half-time. Anybody's game. Hapoel Jerusalem unbeaten domestically and in Europe against the up-and-coming kids from one of Belgium's finest clubs, Antwerp Giants. And there's an offensive foul called straight away. Jashawn Tate picks up another. That's his 3rd. Whilst he's had his 16 points, he's been guilty now of 4 turnovers. And back into the game comes Dudzinski. This is the sort of game that makes European basketball what it is. Stoudemire still out there. Johnson, Feldine, Blatt to the corner it goes, off the rim, rebound from Johnson. Feldine, Blatt, 5 seconds on the shot clock. It's going to be put up by Feldine from the corner, and he has buried it. Jerusalem back in front. Looking to keep this unbeaten record going. Donker from long distance. It would have been for 2. Put up a brick. Will the experience of Hapoel count at these stages? Here's Deshaun Butler towards Stoudemire. Reaching in from Ismail Bako. Let's watch it from the other angle. Yeah. Black being so unselfish there. Doing just what a point guard should as Standard steps out and is replaced by Paris Lee. Another foul call, and this time it's offensive. Feldin looking all perplexed. Kalinowski into the game too, incidentally, as Donker steps out. Bako. Lee. Oh, but Van Wyn has lost it, and it's come off the hand of Johnson. Stoudemire called for the offensive foul, incidentally. Not much laughing and joking around now. There was at the start of the first quarter. Bako, Van Wyn, Paris Lee gets a screen from Bako and takes the back shot himself. He had Dudzinski open, mind you. Bear that in mind for future reference, I'm sure. Stoudemire. How long is he going to stay out there? Blatt gets the screen from the veteran. Feldin once more. A 1-2 punch not quite working out just yet. And we remain tied at 76. Our expectations rising around the Lotto Arena. Is it going to be a last buzzer beater play? Bako for Antwerp. Kalinowski stabbing this way and that. Paris Lee. That's Feldin for company. Fakes and steps back. With Bako drawing another foul from Stoudemire. Looking as if his glasses were a little fogged there, judging by the expression. As if he was trying to peer through the mist. Lee has a foot out of bounds. He's convinced he was good to go. Let's watch this again. Oh, and yeah. Foot on the line, and that's enough as we see Owens return for Hapoel. Johnson has seen enough for now. It's those little errors, though, that can cost Antwerp if they're not careful. Blatt, turned over by Lee. Good recovery. Kalinowski will drive it down the line himself. Draws the foul from Stoudemire. And that's 3 quick fouls for the storied Amari Stoudemire. Sharp work, though, from Tyler Kalinowski. The Davidson University graduate. Oh, misses out on the first throw. Stoudemire on 4 fouls now, by the way. And as for Kalinowski, it's his 2nd season at Antwerp. He spent time in France and in Greece. And he puts the Giants back into the ascendance. 1-point game. Owens for Jerusalem. Stoudemire. Blatt gets a shoulder from Stoudemire. Oh, but can't make it. Well kept in. Tyler Kalinowski. Paris Lee spins away from Blatt for a second, but he's right back for more. Bounce pass and back over the dunk. Oh, what a play and what a reaction. Antwerp Giants loving it. Timeout called as well. How about that, Paris Lee? Great pass. Bako's gone completely bonkers. Jerusalem, no chance, no choice. Got to call the timeout. They're down by 3.
told you, play like that, you deny the net to the high game. Okay? Good play. Leo will play middle. Leo will play middle and you play here. It's only the time you can. Don't mess. Get out with him.
Did I tell you this was fun? Or did I tell you this was fun? How about that from Tyler Kalinowski? The determination you need to win games at this stage of the Basketball Champions League. We've had 12 lead changes, and did you see the reaction from Kalinowski to the play as well? He started it all. Less than 7 to play. You can't call it right now. Felding. Blatt. Help from Owens. Kalinowski back for more though. All sorts of fakes, but it's put up by Yahav to no great effect. He's had a poor game at key moments tonight. Paris Lee. Kalinowski for 3. Can't ask him to do the impossible. And the fast break now from Jerusalem. Stoudemire off the court, as you'll have seen, on 4 fouls. Yahav in for him. Blatt gets a really good screen. And the fadeaway is there for 2. Antwerp by 1. Sean Tate back in. Here's Kalinowski. Paris Lee has got the gas to get past Blatt. Tipped back in by Bacco, was it? No. But he's got the call. Watch this again. Jerusalem escape. Tammy Blatt. There's Yahav. Kicks it back out to Felding. Who draws the foul from Kalinowski, and that's his 4th. You could argue that Owens pushed Kalinowski back into the path there. So he wasn't entirely in control of his body there. So Kalinowski on 4 fouls. Paris Lee on 3. Kalinowski stepping out though, of course. And here's Blatt for Jerusalem. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Great spin from Butler. Oh, but he can't make the bank shot. Second chance, third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance, sixth chance. Butler back out to Blatt. And he can't end our misery, but Yahav does. This is crazy, this game. 1 point in it once more. Paris Lee. Shakes off Yahav, draws the foul as well. And he's another one that's frustrated, but it's that sort of moment, isn't it, when you've got less than 5 to play. Still, Jerusalem not in any serious foul trouble with the exception of Stoudemire on 4. Sanders gets it back from Lee. Zadzinski. Sean Tate. Likes the matchup against Yahav, who floats that up quite superbly. 18 points now for Sean Tate, 6 from 11. Antwerp back up by 3. Time starting to run out. Less than 4.5 to play. Blatt. Felding over the top towards Owens. Cut out by Zadzinski. Clutch sort of play that Antwerp are going to need more of. Paris Lee. Tate with Owens for company. Tees it off for Sanders, and Tate all alone. What a good rebound that could have been from Bacco, and he's got the inbounds play as well to come. Well read, wasn't it, by Dave Dudzinski. And then Tate just unable to connect, and the last touch from Deshaun Butler. Another offensive rebound from Antwerp. They've got 13 of them so far, compared to 9 for Jerusalem. Bacco sets up Paris Lee. Drives it up himself, no, kicks back outside. Sanders from the top of the key. Oh, and sends the crowd into jubilation. Great play. Completely foxed Jerusalem, who are down by 6 now. Butler. Here's Feldy. Listen to the crowd into this now. And he drives into no man's land. Does Feldy, but draws the foul from Ismail Bacco, I think, although it could easily have been off Dudzinski. Blatt. Owens. Jerusalem have got to make a play soon. Oh, and there's an offensive foul. It's Blatt that's called for it. No, I tell a lie. It's Josh Owens. And a rather obvious foul, and well, you can't blame Coach Kachash for being a little irate about that. Very dull play. And Antwerp with a chance to go 8 clear. Paris Lee almost taken apart by Owens, who's won the interception, got the turnover, and Sanders is at full strength to make sure Jerusalem don't make the fast break. Here's Owens. Blatt. Gets back inside. Owens. Feldy. He's looked good from that corner before tonight. And Butler with the bank shot to get Jerusalem back to within 4. Paris Lee in no rush whatsoever, as you'd expect. We're inside the final 3 minutes. Victor Sanders. All the way across to Deshaun Tate, could be key. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! And there's the big smile once more. Loves the moment, loves the big stage. As does Deshaun Butler. Blatt gets it back to him. Butler for 3. What a good response. No fuss, no frills. Back onto the bench. Timeout called. 4-point game. And this crowd are loving this.
Come up one time, go outside of Dave. You, side of Dave. If they switch, try to get the ball, or even if you cannot get it, just clear out, dribble it, and stay inside, Dave. Don't move up. Stay. Come up. If you cannot get the exit because they switch, then you just clear out, and he goes here and brings it immediately inside. Okay? If they don't,
Cool, calm and collected from Deshaun Butler. Just what Coach Katash wants. And look at the fans. They're all out of the seats, all urging these men in gold to pull off what would be the upset of the week, surely, in the Basketball Champions League. We make a case for Strasbourg winning in Besiktas. Besiktas, though, have started poorly. So, Antwerp up by 4, 2:20 to play. Paris Lee. Victor Sanders will fake the pass to Bacco. Lee running out of options there. Finally got it to Tate, who's just been caught by Chris Johnson. Watch the hand go in there. There it is. Jerusalem now in team foul trouble. That is quite a result for Antwerp. We're in a little bit of trouble in that stakes earlier in the quarter. Tate with 21 points to his name. Needs to make these free throws. 7 from 13 from the court. Now is the time where youthful exuberance is not just enough, although it was for Bacco there on the rebound. That'll do nicely. Paris Lee kicks it back out. Victor Sanders for 3! Listen to this crowd go nuts! Antwerp up by 7. 1:45 to play. What have Jerusalem got? They've got Johnson from the corner. It's not enough. Who's got the rebound? It's Deshaun Tate. Tamir Black a little slow to get up too for Jerusalem. The alley-oop. Oh, Bacco's blown it. So unfortunate. Great vision from Tate. And he's a little bit lucky that the foul came in from Josh Owens there. Well, was it a foul? Officials are going to let it go with 1:28 to play. Here is Bacco. Sanders inside to Dazinski! And Antwerp sense they're nearly there now. They've had all the inspiration in these closing moments. Particularly that from Lee. Oh, what a pass. 10 assists, by the way, for Paris Lee. 10 points to Jerusalem timeout, and big problems for Coach Kanash to sort out.
He's taking the ball out. James. Josh. Chris. James. So we don't give up on the game. Anything doesn't matter what happens, we are pressing the ball. See who's ready. Okay? James, you go here. That's a decoy. You go here, that's a decoy.
Well, for the first time we can say that Antwerp very much favoured to win this one now. Look at those fans. First taste for them inside this Lotto Arena at the Basketball Champions League. They'll be back for more, as I hope you will be too. They'll be following all the details over the next few days on the Basketball Champions League app. Make sure you download that from your smartphone store. 1:22 to play. Jerusalem need inspiration. And Felding finds Johnson, who will draw the foul, possibly from Bacco. Or is it Tate? It's Bacco, you would think. Bacco now with 3 fouls, so shouldn't be in any danger. We're now both teams in team foul trouble. Johnson to the line. Every point mattering now. Johnson now with 18 points. 4 rebounds to his trouble as well. Takes him clear of Butler and Felding, incidentally, on 17 apiece. Makes both. 7-point the margin. Antwerp certainly not home yet. Coach Moores knows his players are so nearly there, but it's almost turned over. Paris Lee just about getting it back. And draws the foul from Tamir. 1 or 2 in the crowd thought that was right. Flagrant. Not so sure about that. He certainly made sure Lee went to the floor. Timor's second, incidentally. And Lee up to the line for 2 more. I wouldn't want to be in that locker room with that man if Jerusalem don't get home from here. You can also suggest that when these two meet in Israel, it could be rather lively. As Lee makes both. Timeout called once more. And Antwerp's advantage up to 9.
Hold your men, hold the switches. Hey, got the ball. Like the 3 down. You make it like you go to James and you go player bar. We need a 3-point shot. We attack offensive rebound and we are pressing the ball. We don't give up on again. I help you.
Got a big budget, and they've got equally large ambitions, Hapoel Jerusalem. But it's not they that sense victory is within their grasp. They have all the pressure on these fans, loving every single second right now. As Timor puts it up for 3, can't find the triple. Dazinski for Antwerp. Can they wind down the clock even more? Paris Lee with this win, that almost turns it over. Inside the final minute. They're not far now. Lee with Owens for company. Tate is all alone, and that just puts the nail in the coffin. Oh, wide from Feldin, who's been good from 3-point range, and another foul on the way, and look at the celebration starting already. They've waited a long time for European basketball, and Jashawn Tate gives these Antwerp fans one of the many contributions to the highlight reel. Sanders to the line. It's going to be quite a party in Antwerp tonight. Coach Moores and his staff just can't stop giggling. And who would begrudge them? 51% shooting, incidentally, 58% inside, 40% from 3-point range, Antwerp. Just a little bit more defending to do as Johnson goes flying, draws the foul from Baku in the process. Clearly contact made, even though probably did get a little bit of a piece of it, as Tate makes his way. And we see some of these kids that Coach Moore believes in. Jashawn Tate, great smile. But one of the hallmarks of tonight, Sanders steps off 2. And into their players' friends, Bleichenberg, Niels de Ridder as well. Similarly to the likes of Sanders and co, players with their future out of them, just got a little bit further down the road to travel. Really just 17 years of age as Johnson makes both. Here's Paris Lee looking for one last flourish. Bleichenberg, Lee. Well, they can't quite run the shot clock down themselves, but they're gonna milk these moments, aren't they? And why not? Paris Lee, is he gonna put it up? Shaking hands on the sidelines as Bleichenberg puts the tray up. And that is that, and what an upset we've got here. Antwerp Giants comfortably in front, winning 101-87, and Hapoel Jerusalem's 100% record It's gone in the Basketball Champions League. Not a bad way, is it, to make your home debut in this competition? Quite an upset. And there's your final confirmation. Telenet Giants Antwerp 101. Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem 87. And nothing that the veterans, including Amari Stoudemire, could do about that. And the coaching staff just trying to keep things under a little bit of a lid. But the smiles and the celebrations of the players show you just what a moment this is for Belgian basketball. And they have worked so hard. They were down by 2 at the half, and if you remember, they trailed by 9 at one stage in that first half, but fought strongly back towards the back end of the half. That man Bacco had a terrific game. 7 points, 11 rebounds. Here's your game statistics. As the Hapoel fans get shots of Stoudemire, it'll be what the Antwerp fans are looking at is right here. 59% inside shooting. And Jerusalem will eventually get themselves into a bit of foul trouble, but that was all a little bit later on. It's all smiles in Belgium. Deshaun Tate, as you can see, leading the way. 24 points. 4 rebounds as well. And why not take the high and low fives from all of these Antwerp fans who've been in terrific voice. It is truly a moment to savour for these fans. And who knows what they can produce in the future. The likes of Bleijenberg, 18, De Ridder, who came on for the last few seconds, 17. But if they can hold on to this team, they've got plenty more to come as well. Lee, 23 years of age. Tate, 22 in his first pro season. And just one more result to come in Group C as well from Dijon against Fran-Labrada. I can tell you that Fran-Labrada are up 12 points in the final quarter. That's just got underway in France. Budzinski, relatively quiet game for him compared to how he's gone so far in the Basketball Champions League, but didn't really need to do so with Deshaun Tate in such commanding form. Those individual performances then. Deshaun Tate, 24 points, 4 rebounds. 22 points for Victor Sanders, shooting 7 from 11. Budzinski, I said quiet night. 15 points, 5 rebounds. It's pretty special when you consider he's got 18 points in his 2 previous games. Paris Lee, 12 points and 11 assists. And let's not forget Ismail Bacco, 7 points and 11 rebounds. As for Hapoel Jerusalem, Johnson, 18 points, 4 rebounds. James Feldy, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Deshaun Butler, 17 points, 4 rebounds himself. A rather quieter night for Tamir Black than maybe Coach Kantesh was hoping for. 9 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists though. But there just wasn't the support that Butler, Feldy and Johnson needed. Stoudemire, incidentally, 6 points, 3 rebounds and 4 personal fouls in his 15 minutes and 36 seconds of action. I think 2 good young players come through tonight. Victor Sanders there with the trait, 23 years of age. You'd never guess he tore his ACL in his first year of college at Idaho. And Ismail Bacco as well, another 23-year-old even. Not far off a double-double against Lik Cabelis earlier in the campaign. But when you've got his threat and those outside, It's a potent brew indeed. And that real clash of styles that we saw, showing that if you get it right, run and gun can do the business for you. It's been an absolute pleasure to follow this one with you. From myself, Chris Edgerton, and the rest of the FIBA team, we'll bid you farewell and see you next night on the Basketball Champions League.